Hey there, everybody. Professor Cloud here with our next episode of Professor Builds to Satisfactory. I apologize for my voice. For some reason, I'm losing it, and I don't know why. In the last episode, we started creating new problems for ourselves. We solved, at least temporarily, the aluminum casing situation. We've got those being produced right now so that we can run those around to fused modular frames and radio control units. But radio control units also require crystal oscillators, so we've got to solve that problem. I've come up with a solution at a new location, and that new location has not only given us the solution to crystal oscillators, but it's also given us an opportunity for more exploration, finding more power because there happen to be oil fields and geothermal right nearby. So that should open us up to finding potentially more Mercer spheres, more of the item that we need for alien augmenters, which I can't remember the name of at the top of my head. So let's jump back in and let's get working on the crystal oscillator problem, which we have to solve for radio control units because we have to get turbo motors really running in a positive way. Right now, I can't produce them easily. So let's jump back in. Okay, so I left us here at the new location. This is the iron. That's the copper. Crystal oscillators, if you'll remember, require cable, reinforced iron plates, and quartz crystal. So I'm going to set this up so that I'm just producing enough of what I need to make this work. We'll bring everything together and we'll create the crystal oscillators. We'll bring the crystal around from here up, and then down here is where we're going to get the extra power, which is going to allow me to replace a set of coal generators that are running at the start location. In addition, I could actually run two different sets because there's two other coal veins over there. And then after we do that, then we can start to explore a little bit. However, there's still more work to be done. So let's go ahead and get started. I think I'm going to get started with the copper first because it's easiest. I just got to figure out how I want to lay it out. That's going to be the difficult part because I need to bring the cable up here. So this is producing 240 per minute. We're never going to use that much. It'll give us an opportunity to potentially, produce some additional small stuff, but I don't think we're ever going to use it. Let me get rid of this real quick just to have it out of the way. Okay, and then I'm going to throw this into the trash. Where did it go? Oh, there we go. And the wood. Okay, so that's a little bit better. All right. You know what? I'm here. Let me go ahead and get started with the iron. So I'm going to need to bring a Mark III out. To a splitter. Actually, I don't know why I just did that. And I'm sorry to do this, guys, but I gotta get rid of this thing. Okay. Now, let's get this as close as possible. There we go. All right. We need screws for reinforced iron plates. Actually, you know what? Let me do this. I'm going to get rid of it in a minute anyway. Reinforced iron plates. We need 30 per minute of iron plate. and 60 per minute of screws, to create 5 per minute of iron plate, of reinforced iron plate. The smelters produce 30 per minute of iron ingots to then produce, I think, 30 per minute of iron plates. So we can do a direct 2. So if we take, I'm going to do another like that. Alright, so that takes it down to 120. And then each one of these will be 60. So we can put 2 smelters here side by side, each one of them for iron plates. And then 60 per minute of screws. Let me write this down, that way I won't have to create an assembler to look this up the next time. 30 p.m. iron plate. 60 p.m. screws. Okay. Now, screws get created from iron rods, so that's going to take a few more pieces of machinery, but let me start with the easy. So we'll take 2 out of here. All right. Let's start building some flooring. Let me start it here. Okay, let me get rid of you. Okay. Okay. So 2 smelters. And I think the easiest thing is to put 1 right there. And then 1 like that. Iron ingots, and I already have some iron in here, so let me go ahead and give that to you. That way I can get it out of my inventory. Alright, these take... yeah, see, this is where I said the split was going to... So I took it down to 120. So this is 120, and I split it into 60s. I actually need to split it again. So let me... Actually, you know what? I'm going to... Okay. Alright, and then we'll do smelters off of here. And remember, we've got crystals that are going to come out of this exit and then eventually go into creating the oscillators. Now, where that happens, I don't know yet. But both of these then are going to be smelter of iron ingots. I'll give one of you the excess iron that I have. There we go. All right, and then each, we're going to need 2 constructors. so there's 2 constructors, 4 iron plates. Alright, so we've got... Oh, God, of course they're 20 per minute. Which means we need a third to get... No, that's not right. No, we just need to power shard them. But that also does mean that I'm going to have to change the original plan. Because they now need 45 per minute instead of... So I'm going to... We're going to go back to this one again. And that's fine. Here's what I'll do. I said I was going to end up wasting iron ore. And that's exactly what I'm going to end up doing. But, I mean, that's fine. I don't care at this point. And the reason I don't care is because I'm creating so much other iron stuff other places that it really doesn't matter. Alright, so both of these are going to produce the same amount. Alright, so they need 45 per minute. So they're going to need power shards. There we go. And they're going to take 45 per minute instead of 60, or instead of 30. Okay, there we go. Alright, so that's iron plates, and that's 230 per minute. Now, the rest of this we're going to do iron screw, we're going to do screws. So let me start with that. $120 to here, which means this is now going to produce, anything that comes out of here is also going to produce 120. So we've got 120 worth of iron ore coming out, and I don't remember the numbers, and unfortunately the codex doesn't really tell you. 40 per minute, so one set of iron rods, which is 15 per minute, produces 40 per minute, and we need 60 per minute. And this is where, if you ever look at the Satisfactory wiki, there will be times where it will tell you like an ideal initial solution for production. And there have been times, and specifically aluminum casings was the one that I most recently found, where it'll go, oh, just set your XYZ machine to 50%. And you're like, that's not possible. There's no, you can set it 150%, but you can't set it to 50%. So I don't know what they're doing. So I think what I'm going to end up doing is figuring out how to get the screws at 60 per minute, which would be 150%. So if I can come up with 150% of iron rods. All right, so let's do this. Let's put in 2 more smelters. And then 2 more constructors. Alright, so the iron rods are producing at 15 per minute. That produces 40 per minute in screws. So, let me put in more floor that I can stand on. put 2 more constructors in front. Okay, so we need... There's my 60 per minute in screws. I need 15 per minute. Oh. Oh, well then I'm fine, because this is producing 15 per minute. Okay. Okay, I see where... I actually only need then... I only need 1 smelter. This is producing 30 per minute. And this, apparently I was on the other one. Actually, I don't need that. Oh, you can go to 50 per... Oh, well, son of a bitch. So you can use a power shard to reduce your power. No, you don't need the power shard. You can... I didn't realize... I had no idea I could reduce my power. That could potentially solve my aluminum problem. Of having too much either aluminum or aluminum scrap. I had no idea. The number of things that the game never ever tells you sometimes is shocking. Anyway, and it's my fault. It's my fault for never ever trying it before now. Okay, so 15 per minute. We need 15 per minute of iron ingots, which means that I can put this into a splitter. I don't know that I can, though. I don't know that I have the room. Okay, I don't know what that's doing. Alright, I might have to remove the... I might need to move this one. Yeah. Okay. Set to 60. Screws... Set to 60. Okay. Iron rods. Iron rods. 15 per minute coming out of this. It's taking in 15 per minute in iron ingots. It's then producing 60 per minute. So we've now got the exact amount that we need for 2 assemblers to produce reinforced iron plates, which is great. So let's go ahead and make that happen. Well, okay. Before I do that, let me figure out what the best way to do this is, because of course I'm going to need to bring together the iron plates from this one to one assembler, this one to another assembler. Obviously, it's easy to do with lifts, but I also don't want to take up too much room over top here. In case, well, that I had already decided if I use that coal vein there, as well as this one over here, then that one's going to go out that direction, and that one's going to go out that direction as far as where the coal power would go to. So I don't need to worry about that. This is going to produce the wire, the cable. um, what if I put the manufacturer like right here for the producing of the crystal oscillators? Because then I could bring the cable down, I could bring the reinforced iron plate down, I could bring the crystal directly. Yep, that's exactly what we're going to do. Okay. So, I got to figure out floor here, obviously. Again. Manufacturer. Yeah, I need at least one more row. Okay, so this is going to be this one, crystal oscillator. So we can bring the cable right down into this port, the reinforced plates right down into this port, and I'll merge them together. Okay, so we need 18 per minute of quartz crystal, 14 per minute of cable, and 2.5 per minute of reinforced iron plate. I don't remember how much we're going to get out of that, but I think it's going to be more than that. I'm actually wondering if we're going to produce enough that we could do 2 manufacturers worth. Alright, let me get rid of a little bit of this extra here. Just to make it look a little cleaner. Okay. Because I am going to have to do that just so that I have room. I'm actually going to need to do another one. Alright, that's good. That's good. Alright, let me go ahead now, and I'm going to do the cabling real quick, because I think that's easy. And again, I'm going to start with flooring, because then I can use the flooring as a way to build a ladder. Alright, so this is going to produce 120, which I'm never going to use all of. But I am going to put a splitter here. That's weird. Try there. That's not perfect, but... Alright, so this is 120. So anything that comes out of here is going to be 60. And just like the iron ingots, I know for a fact that the copper ingots are 30 per minute as well. So... I guess I'll put another one here. So that then these are each 30 per minute. Alright, and then we need the smelter. A smelter that's turned the right way, of course. And again, I have some copper ore that will get you started with. And as I said, 30 per minute. So now we need copper wire and then copper wire into cable. Just trying to figure out spacing because I've got enough. I also want room for growth because if I need to expand this and use the rest of the copper for something else in the near future, I want to be able to do so. Yeah, see, that was the problem that I thought I was going to have. Alright, I'm going to go the other direction. And this needs to be wire. Okay, wire need 15 per minute of ingots to produce 30 per minute of wire. They need 60 per minute of wire, though, to produce 30 per minute of cable. Okay. So this is perfect. So I need 2, in order to make this work, I need 2, hold a minute. This is 120. This is 60. This is 30. Okay. All right, so I need another... that, and I'll put another smelter here. And then another constructor. That's interesting. Okay, so really I don't need to produce the 30 per minute in copper ingots because I only need 15 per minute. So using what I've learned, there we go, 15 per minute. All right, this is going to produce 30 per minute in copper wire. We're then going to merge those together with one constructor. So we'll put a merger right here. Because each of these is going to produce 30. We need 60 for cable. And then I'm going to... Alright, hold on. I did do this wrong. I thought I would. Okay. And then we need another constructor here. And this is going to be cable. So 60 per minute of copper wire to produce cable. And then we will send this directly down into that first port. There we go. And to make myself feel better that this is not going to fall to its death, okay, there we go. I need another one over here too, don't get me wrong, but alright, and then let me put a ladder here as well. So that when I do inevitably need to expand this to use the rest of the copper that's coming out. And trust me, I know that there's still power situations as well, and I'm going to turn it all on at one time. Oh, I was like, why is there a bull, whatever they're called? And I forgot, he's protecting that coal vein, because I haven't put a Mark II on it. I should probably go down there and clear them out and then put the Mark II down on it so they won't come back. Oh, never mind, he came to me. Alright, well, let me go clear the other one. Come on. Okay. Don't know why he was just standing there. Don't care. Okay. Let's put the Mark II. Oh crap! I don't have I don't have enough modular frames. Okay, well I guess I won't be doing that then. All right. Well, let's get the reinforced iron plates down here, and then we'll worry about everything else. I'm gonna need to go because remember I still have to run the crystal, the quartz crystal, out from the tunnel all the way to here. So there's still work to be done there. Let me run a ladder. Okay. I've still got to power all this up. I'm just trying to figure out the best place to put the two assemblers is really what it comes down to. Let's see how far. Okay. All right, so assembler number 1. And 2. Okay, so screws, iron plates, screws, iron plates. Let's do them in that order. So the first one's easy. This is producing 60. So we go directly into here. That one's easy. And I think actually really this one's easy. And then there. And then this is the only one that we've really got to do a lift for. There we go. All right, reinforced iron plates. Reinforced iron plates. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put an extra row with a merger, and then I'm going to bring down from the merger directly into. Okay, so let me... I'm using efficiencies, but I'm also doing only what is necessary in certain circumstances. Okay, so if it were to go down, it would be down from here. I think it's best to do it from here. All right, these are producing 5 per minute, which means 10 per minute total. And I think that's the assembler only needed 2.5. So we might be able to overclock the manufacturer. We might be able to overclock the manufacturer. We're probably still going to end up with excess. But I don't need to store them anywhere because I have reinforced iron plates going into a dimensional depot already. All right, so... Actually, hold on. Let's turn it this way. Okay. Perfect. All right, so yeah, it only needs 2.5 per minute. And we're producing, I don't even remember how much cable. Let me see. Yeah, we might be able to overclock this. We're producing 30. And it only needs 14 per minute. So far, we can overclock this by 200%. Now, the amount of quartz crystal that we get is going to be simply equal to the amount that we bring from down below. And I think we can double that. 18 per minute. We can't quite double it. Actually, yes, we can. Because one Mark 1 belt is 60 per minute. So as long as we're producing at least 36 per minute with our constructors down below, and I know that that's not efficient. Yeah, all right, so let's... Where are my power shards? Okay, 3.75. Yeah, and then we're still going to end up with excess from a reinforced iron plate perspective because we're producing 10 per minute. I actually only needed enough for one reinforced iron plate production, but it's okay. I'm not as concerned about excess here as I was in the ones that are just trying to be as super efficient as possible. Okay, so again, okay. Yeah, so the only thing left then is to bring the crystal in. It's going to suck, but I've got to do it. And then we can start to add in the new power to run all this off of. I mean, I've got enough excess power I can turn it all on right now, but I don't want to... There's no point in me doing that until I get the crystal running. Not only that, but I think it's going to be to my benefit. Can I add another power tower here? Yeah, I should be able to. Alright, and then I'm going to switch this one to just a regular power tower. Okay, so now we've got, quote unquote, fast travel. Alright, let's see how it goes. I'm kind of curious. This also gives me a little bit of a bird's eye view of things I might have missed. Although I'm not that far away from the original Quickwire production, so I'm not really sure that I missed a whole lot. But as we expand over to the new geothermal and oil field, I think there's opportunity. Alright, this is probably not going to let me do that. Yeah, okay, cool. So the question now is, where do I have extra modular frames? I might have some up here. Yeah. There we go. All right, let's go back. All right, I'm going to have to figure out a better way to get started to run back and forth to there. I feel like. But it is pretty quick. It's about the same number of power tower. Well, no, I guess it's about the same number as getting to aluminum casings right now. Alright, so let's put Mark II here. And I'm definitely going to have it going that direction, so there we go. Hopefully that'll keep the bull guys away. Alright, let's get Crystal running. Alright, let me make sure that I have my baton, because this is going to invite a bunch of spiders. We'll also check real quick and see how much quartz crystal we're actually producing. I may have to change the direction of it because I think it's going towards the coal power, the original coal power, rather than this direction. I still would love to know where that sunlight is coming from. There should be one more, I thought. Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay, so here's where everything's being produced. Yeah, right now everything's going the wrong direction. Oh, but there's another quartz crystal Oh. Well. Do I really want to rework all of this? Or do I just want to feed from here? Well, what I could do instead is this. So 37 per minute of raw to 22 and a half. Okay, hold on. This is producing 2. So I can definitely overclock this guy. 56.25. 75 per minute. That's then going to produce 45 per minute. And what did I say I needed? 36? No, I only needed 18. I only needed 18. So this is perfect. Alright, here's what we're going to do. I don't really need all of that extra flooring, but... Alright, we're going to put this guy here. Put that into there. So this is producing 45. Oh, it's already... Oops, wrong one. This one. Where did the... There it is. Oh, this is going to take freaking forever. Oh, there's extra crystal there. Alright, I'll trash the rest of it. Anything else in here that I can trash? I just learned that if you hold down the control button over a particular item, it'll move all of the available of that one item. I've just been doing shift click to move, to quick move, but that's only one item at one box at a time. Control click will actually move all of the same type. I just learned that. 150 hours into the game, I just learned that. This game can be very frustrating at times. Okay. Look, I understand. I've worked in software development my entire career. You can't document everything. You can't give a tutorial for everything. So I get it. It is frustrating, though, for me. So I am not doing efficiently with this at all. I could very easily be doing more. At the moment, though, I think this is fine. Now, we just need to take this. Where'd you go? Come here. There you go. Now you're dead. Yeah, here's the thing. If I take the belt down from here, it's going to remove my ability to use this vein if I ever need it. Alright, I got an idea. Okay, I think this will work. This will allow me to avoid it for the most part. Okay, I'm stuck. I don't know where he's coming from. There he is. Okay. Now, this is where things are going to get tricky. I need to go around this tree, assuming that's what this is. Really wish there was a better way to do this. But we're almost out. And then we've just got to get it to the manufacturer. No. I may actually have to lift it. Well, it is what it is. Yeah, and I can't lift it to there. There we go. All right. We have all of the pieces in place now for crystal oscillators. Now we just need to power it up. And then we can start to build more power. That'll be the next step. So let's go ahead and get everything powered up. And then I will call the episode and we'll work on the coal power in the next one before heading back to... Ooh, I don't like that. There's a drone over there. Okay, never mind. It's moving. I was worried that it was just sitting there floating. All right, so let me bring... All right, I'm just going to bring a simple Mark 1 here. And then I'm going to put a mark. Oh, I only need the one more. Shoot. Okay, that's all the copper. Okay. Let's get the iron. Yeah. What is going to be the best way to do this? I think the best way to do this is to put a power tower up here. Say there. There we go. All right, so let's start with a Mark 2 right there. And then another Mark 2 right here. There we go. Uh-oh. I think I overclocked you. No, I did overclock you. Huh. That's weird. That one shows blue, this one shows yellow, but yet they're both overclocked. That's very strange. Okay, so the front row, same thing there as a matter of fact. Alright, the front row is fine. I need one more. Probably a, oops, Mark 1, or Mark 2, I mean. Okay. Alright, I think that's everything. Everything's lit up. Either yellow, blue, or green. Okay. I think... the only question I have at the moment is why I do not have... oh, I don't have power to the manufacturer. Okay, there's crystal. I was wondering where the crystal was. Actually, to some degree, that is fine. Let me let the crystal collect as well, and then we can set up power to here. That's a Mark 1. Alright, so let me make this a... yeah, let me make it a Mark 2. And then I'll put a... I really wish they would allow you to put a power tower or a power pole, not a power tower, power pole on top of a storage unit or on top of a building. But I know why they didn't do it. They didn't because it's not physics, but if you get rid of the building that sits underneath, yeah, that means you end up with a power pole in midair, and they were trying to avoid that, and I get that. All right, this is a Mark II now, so I can just do this. Yeah. I hate that it's clipping through the floor, though. All right, we have crystal oscillator production. I love it. Absolutely love it. Now, I don't know how much power we just consumed, but it's got to be less than 600. And if it is, us putting in one coal production facility will counterbalance it. 2 will absolutely give us extra power. So that's going to be the plan for the next episode. We're going to add in a coal production off of this Mark miner. Why did I put the miner there and not there? Huh. We've actually got 4 coal veins. 1 here, 1 there. Then there's 2 around that side. Yeah, I'm going to move this. And I'm going to put it here instead. And the only reason I'm doing that is to make it closer to the water. So that it's going to be easier to bring the water in from a shorter distance. The other thing I want to do before I head back, because I have some alien DNA to craft and some more power slugs to craft. There is a power slug right over here. Okay, hold on. I can't tell what kind of a bull that is. think he's dead. Yep. Alright, there's another nest over here, but that I can get fairly easily. Okay. Now, let me grab you. Considering the number of power slugs I've been using, I need to make sure to start grabbing them from now on. Yeah, so somewhere over there are oil fields and geothermal. So at some point we are going to be doing some more exploration. And hopefully we can find some more Mercer spheres and some more salmonella, whatever they were called. Salmon, something with an S. I can't remember what they were. Yeah, we're going to produce some new coal power over... Oh. Don't know why you were here. There's been some weird enemy locations, I think. Oh, maybe you were protecting the limestone? I don't know. Anyway, all right, I'm going to wrap up this episode here. As always, I hope you've been enjoying the content. And if you have, please make sure to hit that like, subscribe, or comment button. And, yeah, we're going to produce some more power in the next episode, and then we will get back to our efficiency rework over in steel production after that. We also I am going to have to solve the motor problem. I'm going to have to get motors up and running somewhere in an automated way. I don't know the best way to do it. I really, really don't. I mean, I suppose I've got the space to do... I might be able to do it here. If I produce... Because it's a combination of stators and rotors. Oh, but stators require steel pipe. So yeah, I can't do the stators here. I'm going to probably have to do it over at the computer production. Yeah, I'm going to probably have to do it at the computer production, which means it might make more sense to make that our next efficiency project. That, or I think there's a storage unit. Well, I know I have a storage unit of stators. I'm storing up rotors. I could do it just for enough to produce a crap ton of turbo motors. We may do that. We may do that. Maybe we'll do that after we do the coal power. Okay, so with that, everyone have a great rest of your day. Hopefully I'll see you in the next episode. Talk to you soon.